Hello everyone, it's half-time live, Liverpool 0, Everton 0 in the Merseyside Derby at Goodison Park. Weird game so far for the Reds. Weird in terms of the team selection, which we talked about in the build-up to the game. Weird in terms of atmosphere from what I can fathom through the telly. It started quite blood and thundery to some extent, more so certainly than we've seen in a lot of derbies in the last few years. And it seems to have faded out. I don't know whether the enthusiasm's dampened or whether people are starting to realise what's at stake in this game, which is basically next to nothing. But it does look like Liverpool are starting to exercise a measure of control in it. Everton have had probably the best effort on goal. Certainly the best save of the game's come from Loris Karius, fingertip save from Yannick Bolasie. And that was the most dangerous moment, I think, for Everton. One or two little promising situations in and around the box, but by and large, not enough. Liverpool, to be fair, haven't been scintillating in that half. I think defo more needs to come from it, but it did feel as though Liverpool were growing into the game, and where the Reds have fallen short is just in the sharpness of the players that we've got in this team. Danny Ings, Ragnar Klavan, Nathaniel Klein in particular, how many times the balls go over it. Now what we've got is the issue with Ragnar is Robertson's normally very far advanced up the pitch, and how much of our play goes through our fullbacks. It comes to Klavan, and unfortunately, look, I think he's a tidy footballer for what he is, but he is what he is. He's a 31, 32-year-old centre-half playing left-back for us in a team that requires left-backs to do a lot of up and down work, which is meant, basically, Mane's tucked in quite a bit at times. Milner's actually had to go across and do a lot of the left wing work, and I think he's actually done really well in that regard as well. Forced a very good save from Jordan Pickford, cutting in onto his right foot from the edge of the 18-yard box. He's had a good game. A little bit cheeky. Lovren's having too much of the ball, which is not what we want. We prefer Lovren when he's just left to do the nuts and bolts of defending. When he's tasked with doing more, that's when you get into a little bit of trouble. We had a little spell with a couple of misplaced passes and what have you. Mercifully, we've gotten through it. What has been interesting, though, in terms of how the team has actually shaped up, Gini Wijnaldum's playing the 6 for Liverpool. Jordan Henderson's playing far more advanced down the right-hand side, and that gives you a little bit of a one eye on Tuesday in the second leg kind of thing, because it's likely that, look, we know Henderson's not going to be available for that through suspension. We're told that Emre Can's likely to be out for the rest of the season. So the options are pretty limited to who we can play there. I think Wijnaldum's probably been our best player so far, just in terms of how he's turned the play around from defence, guided the ball forward as well, shielded it, turned it around. I've enjoyed his performance so far. Terrible shot. Be nice to see him break his away duck in the derby, but I'm not sure we'll see that today. Going forward up front, Solanke's looked good, some really good touches from him, holding the ball up. I think we need to see a little bit more aggression in his hold-up play, if I'm honest, but I promise him reasonable start. Danny Ings is doing what Danny Ings does. He's tearing about the place, but again, just that killer touch, that killer ball. A few too many times he's knocked it back to, whether it's Klein or Henderson or Lovren, and the ball's been 5 or 6 yards wide of the target. This side is so much built on its fluidity and its ability to strike. When you've got people playing those passes, it just slows everything down and stops us doing what we need to do. But yeah, Sadio Mane, I think, absolutely head and shoulders the best player on the pitch, though, in terms of talent. He looks like he's bang up for this one. He's raring to have an impact. Unfortunately, I just think that he's having this impact. He's being a bit Coutinho-like, if I'm honest. And we know his role has evolved like that in recent weeks, but he's trying to do too much, I think, outside the box. I want to see him playing a few more give and goes with Solanke, maybe with Milner over on this side, trying to get into the box and trying to get some shots off from closer range. Whether we can do that, I don't know. We should hope that we can do that. This game's got 0-0, maybe a 1-0 written all over, and you can see that being Everton just getting as we saw with the Bolasie one, it's a deflected header, it drops, it bounces a few awkward places, and you get a shot off. I feel like if we're going to concede, that's how we're likely to concede, but I could see us maybe just about to have enough, and the confidence that would give this side, if it's an Ings or a Solanke in particular, could be massive for us between now and the end of the season. Si, have you got a few comments for us?
Yeah, we just had a $20 super chat from Scott Hawks. Thanks very much, Scott.
Scott Hall?
Hawks. He said,
Wrestling.
well done, Karius. Solanke needs to hold the ball up better. Yeah. Klavan looks baffled. Hendo starting to drive on. Toffee's a shite. Hopefully we improve.
Yeah, exactly that. I think Liverpool should take confidence from it. The thing is, you can see Everton are playing without confidence. We are playing for a team that isn't necessarily close to our first team. They're playing with the confidence of the first team, but not quite the technique that's become associated with the best 11.
So the Hodge says Liverpool look like a team with a lot of changes. Everton look like a team with a load of shit players.
I see, yeah, look, let's have a little laugh at Everton while we can because the score is still 0. But they've got players to hurt us there. I think Yannick Bolasie, Theo Walcott, I think there'll be more from Theo Walcott in this game. Cenk Tosun can cause problems. We've handled them pretty well so far. Maybe Rooney needs to get more involved, and Davies has just not quite been at it. And look, Schneiderlin, the Evertonians tell me he's not very good, but you know, he is what he is. I think there's more to come from Everton. I think if they get their heads in it, but that's why it's important for us to just keep doing what we're doing, not overcommit, not go silly in a weird way. A 0-0 for us, we're coming away with no injuries, is a perfectly acceptable result. It's going to be down on who spins, who twists, I guess, to try and get more out of this game. If Everton do, Liverpool could capitalise on that, but equally Everton could well still get something out of this game more than a point. Wow, that was a very convoluted way of saying that. One more comment, please.
So, Nick Morgenstern says, when should Bobby come on?
I wouldn't put Bobby Firmino on in this game at all, unless you're chasing it. Unless they get a goal up and we need to get to, because I think it's important we take something from this game, just for confidence, just for fluidity. I expect Bobby Firmino will come on with about between 10 to 20 minutes to go in this game regardless. But I personally would, if we can, not bring him on. You know, neither of these two lads are liable to play on Tuesday, so there's no issues there with regards to fitness. Maybe you want to get Mane off just to keep him wrapped in cotton wool because of the Salah situation. So maybe, yeah, there's a chance there. But other than that, I don't know. Let us know how you think the game's going to go in the second half. What substitutions would you make? List your substitutions in order, 1, 2 and 3, and the times that you would make them. And score predictions for how you think the game's going to end up in the comments below. Listen, drop a like on this video if you think the Mighty Reds can take all 3 points in the Merseyside Derby. And make sure you subscribe to get the post-match reaction videos first.